Hey guys, welcome to the review and results show for the February 22nd, 2023 edition of AEW Dynamite. My name's Dan and I review each and every AEW show. That's everything from Dark Elevation to all their pay-per-views. So if you missed the show and you want a quick recap, or you enjoy watching all the shows and you want a place to talk all things AEW, you can do so right here. So please go right below this video, click that like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell, because always let you see past, present, and future reviews that I do, but also helps others to find my channel. And without any further ado, let's get to the review. Dynamite would kick off with Orange Cassidy defending his All-Atlantic Championship against Wheeler Yuta. Before the match even started, Orange Cassidy offered out his hand to show some respect to Wheeler, which Wheeler would decline, and the match would move pretty fast from there with lots of reversals and near falls, much to the appreciation of the entire crowd. Who didn't appreciate that, though, was Claudio, who came down to the ring, smacking Wheeler in the face, motivating him to be more aggressive, and that's exactly what we would see out of him. We would see him throw Orange Cassidy into the barricade over the timekeeper's table. We would even see at one point Orange Cassidy put his hands in his pockets, and Wheeler did exactly what you should do when you leave yourself defenseless, and that was deliver a lot of strikes to Orange Cassidy. There was even a point where they were putting each other in each other's pins to try to get the win there. And Wheeler did his best to withstand all of Orange Cassidy's punishment towards the end, kicking out of an orange punch, a beach break, but not a second orange punch, as Orange Cassidy does end up retaining his All-Atlantic Championship here. After the match, though, Orange did try once again to get Wheeler to embrace him, but Claudio once again wasn't having any of that. Very interesting development in this BCC story. Very fun match to kick off the show. We would then go backstage where Renee is standing with Evil Uno and Hangman Adam Page, and Hangman says how he repeatedly was trying to get Dark Order not to get involved, and Evil Uno would respond with, "Well, when you say stuff like that, it's telling me that Dark Order is not on their level, and it's time for him to bring back respect to the Dark Order," and ask Hangman to stay backstage no matter what throughout the match. I love this new fire from the Dark Order, from Evil Uno. It's finally time that the Dark Order gets to shine. Ricky Starks would then come down to the ring and talk a bit about his feud with Chris Jericho. Says that it's obvious that Chris does not want a rematch, but he's ready to move on and face somebody else with an open contract at Revolution. But of course, out would come Chris Jericho, who says, "You're just trying to bait me, and good luck to whoever decides to face you at Revolution." And out comes Pretty Peter Avalon, and poor Peter eats a Judas effect for his troubles. Of course, Chris would come down to the ring and says maybe, just maybe, he should face Ricky Starks at Revolution, to which Ricky replies with really putting over Chris Jericho, talking about how he beat two legends in the same night, and that he really doesn't need the JAS or anybody else to help him out to defeat Ricky Starks. And Chris Jericho agrees and says, maybe, just maybe, I could make an addendum to that contract, making it so that nobody is allowed to come down to ringside to help me, but he doesn't have a pen. And of course, Ricky has a pen, pulls it out of his jacket pocket, gives it to him, and a great moment because Chris Jericho holds up that pen just like he did back when he was in WWE doing the list gimmick, and does the click that really pops the crowd. And of course, the whole thing of him trying to get one over on Chris Jericho does work, as we were going to get this match, Ricky Starks versus Chris Jericho at Revolution. A brilliant segment. After a brief video package highlighting the Battle Royal later on in the show, it's the Acclaimed teaming up against Big Bill and Lee Moriarty. And of course, before the match, Max, in his rap, talked a bit about Lee Moriarty's mom, and said that Stokely has a cast because he likes to touch his penis, which the entire crowd ate up because everybody loves the Acclaimed. The match had a decent back and forth with the Guns watching things at ringside, and they would go right after Billy Gunn, which would cause the Acclaimed to chase them down. And just when you think Big Bill and Lee would take advantage, they don't, and Bowens would end up hitting the Arrival, and Max would finish things off with the mic drop to pick up the win. After the match, Tony Schiavone would try to interview Christian Cage, but Jungle Boy was having none of that and decided to attack him during it. And as it looked like he was going to deliver a concerto, took a bit too much time, allowing Christian Cage to take advantage with a low blow, and then proceeded to slam Jungle Boy's head on his head several times and busting him open in the process, adding a lot more fuel to this eventual match with him at Revolution. After a video package hyping up Wardlow's match with Samoa Joe at Revolution, we got Skye Blue taking on Saraya and anytime Skye Blue was able to get any sort of offense in on Saraya, Toni Storm would get involved, eventually would end up costing her the match with Saraya getting her the tap out, and after the match, Toni would go after those spray cans to use on Skye Blue, but of course that would bring out Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Jamie Hayter to even the odds, and when they were going up the ramp, we would see Ruby Soho come out and gesture towards Jamie Hayter that she wants a title shot, and more on that later on in the show. We would then see Bryan Danielson come down to the ring, and he talks about how much MJF truly does hate him, which would cause MJF to come down to the ring, and cutting another phenomenal promo. What a shot coming from MJF, right? He would then say that how everyone in his life has left him, even somebody who he really wanted to have children with, and the only person that makes him feel, the only thing that makes him feel any sort of unconditional love is that Triple B, the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, and that he really does hate him because every time that he comes down to the ring, that being Bryan Danielson, with all the concussions that he's caused, really shows that he cares more about wrestling than his family. Says that he takes all of his family for granted. Even at one point, looked down at the camera and says, I'm going to talk to Bryan Danielson's kids now, which would really piss off Bryan Danielson, even having him drop the S-bomb there, but that would not stop MJF, and they would brawl for a while on the outside, end up having security breaking them up, and this was just absolutely phenomenal, as if we really needed more fuel to the fire of this feud. It adds so much to it. I absolutely loved it. This should make their match that much more compelling. Then we would see Tony Schiavone backstage standing with Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Jamie Hayter, and Jamie talks a lot about how Saraya has been doing nothing but trying to tear down everything that they've been building within the women's division, and also brings up the fact that Ruby Soho, maybe she deserves a shot, but ends up deciding to challenge both of them at Revolution. So it's going to be Ruby Soho, Saraya, and Jamie Hayter for an AEW Women's World Championship at Revolution. We're finally going to see Ruby Soho choose a side and perhaps even see a title change in this match. Up next is the Revolution Tag Team Battle Royal to determine one of the teams facing the Guns and the Acclaimed at Revolution. And this match had just about every single tag team that wasn't FTR. We even got a fun surprise from Mark Briscoe going right after Josh Woods. And my pick, Aussie Open, was eliminated, which was very unfortunate. But as it looked like Lethal and Jarrett were going to win, Orange tried to help out Trent there. And then just on the other side of it, when Jarrett was about to be eliminated himself, along with Lethal, Satnam Singh would make sure that that wouldn't happen. And of course, that would allow them to eventually pick up the win. So it's going to be Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett in this match. Personally, I wasn't really a fan of it. I really wanted to see Aussie Open, but I certainly get it, considering the history between them and the Acclaimed. After that, we would see the House of Black cut a fantastic promo on the Elite. Says that there's a huge problem within AEW and that they're here to eradicate it, and challenge them to go face-to-face next Friday on Rampage. This is going to be great. I'm not sure what exactly that's going to entail, but I'm so hyped for this feud, and I'm so hyped for this match. We then finally get to hear what exactly this special announcement is from Tony Khan, and he, of course, would defer to Adam Cole, baby, who would say that starting in March, after Dynamite, there would be an unfiltered look at AEW. I'm very excited for this. I really am interested in seeing all the behind-the-scenes stuff. That stuff is all for me. I really hope it doesn't really become like a straight-up reality show with like these couples like it was with Total Divas and Total Bellas. That really isn't for me, but it sounds like if we're gonna hear about Adam Cole's journey, about what he's been through, I'm all in for it. After we get to hear from Jarrett and Lethal celebrating their win and possibly teaming up at Revolution, we get the main event with Jon Moxley taking on Evil Uno, and Uno would take it right at Jon Moxley, who unfortunately wouldn't really last too long, as Mox would really try to tear off the mask of Evil Uno, which got a lot of boos from the crowd. And given with what happened with Claudio and Wheeler early on tonight, it seems like the BCC may be turning heel, minus Bryan Danielson, which I'm all for. I'm really excited to see what exactly it is that they do with it. Uno would then respond with doing a big dive off the top rope onto the outside on Mox, which got a great response from the crowd, and I absolutely loved it. It looked really good. he would even get a near fall after delivering not one, but 2 pile drivers to Jon Moxley. But Mox was just too much for him, really busting him open, beating the hell out of him, and gets the win with a bulldog choke as blood. And I mean, lots of blood was just pouring out of Evil Uno here. I really hope he's okay after that. And then after the match, Dark Order brawled with the BCC, and Hangman brought out a barbed wire, I guess brass knucks in a way, and he used that on Jon Moxley, which got a great response from the crowd as well. Looks like that they're really pushing this whole angle with Mox being the bad guy in this feud, which makes me think that Hangman will go over at Revolution, but I cannot wait for it because it's going to be one hell of a match. And that was AEW Dynamite. What'd you guys think about it? Please let me know down in the comment section below. Things to check out on this show. Certainly that opener between Wheeler and Orange Cassidy, that brilliant promo from Ricky Starks, the brilliant promo from MJF, and of course, that main event with Evil Uno and Jon Moxley. And with that being said, if you did enjoy this review, please click that like button, that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell, because it's only to let you see past, present, and future reviews that I do, but also helps others to find my channel. So thank you guys once again for checking out this review, and thank you guys for being all elites.